Hello and welcome, or welcome back to the channel. My name's Dina and this is Impressive Warrior. So I have here the daily Dharma for us, and let's get right into it. I was pre-shuffling the deck, and underneath we have 28 freedom with this dragonfly energy. And then the card near the bottom that wanted to peek out was Manifesto. So are you manifesting a new level of freedom in your life? Let's take those cards. Oh, and it reveals some type of change. I just want to look at these real quick. Oh yeah, changing your belief in yourself, empowering your own authority to conceive of a new way to understand your place amongst the tribe. Ooh, that's what I'm getting. So maybe we're talking about imposter syndrome. And I have no shame to admit that that's one of the things that has been a part of my personal journey. Because, those of us that are star seeds, and have been born into family situations and dynamics that were less than supportive, sometimes we as empaths in that type of toxic environment that's not affirming or conducive to like, oh yeah, you're okay just the way you are, you can often start to feel like the outcast. And that's sort of the meaning of the word alien. It's like somebody from some other place, somebody who's foreign. And yeah, feeling something like that, it could lead you to being any of those things or a star seed. Or maybe literally you're traveling and you're a foreigner in a distant land, and maybe it just feels like that. But I feel like it has more to do with the associations that you have in your life. Are your friendships and your social outlets really answering you at the deeper level of who you are and where you're going, what you care about, um, all of those things? So you're manifesting more freedom, I feel, first and foremost, of personal expression, authentic and aligned and empowered. It's like declaring, no, this is who I am. Maybe the whole group believes a different way, and you've just kind of quietly thought, well, maybe I don't really belong here. But now it seems like in in subtle or distinct ways for different situations, I think that this group is declaring something about wanting to go in a different direction. It may just be something that you're declaring to the universe, to spirit, that you're ready for some type of a change, to be around people that believe in you and what you bring to the table, and wouldn't try to minimize or diminish your your hobbies or the things that kind of make you you, the quirks you, that are beautiful and amazing. And I'm feeling like this music, I don't know if you can hear it, it's like do do do. It's like some kind of like a Lifetime movie. I don't know if that channel, like a chick flick movie, so to speak. It's like having some level of looking back over the situation and feeling in certain situations like you just don't belong or fit in. It's like no matter how much you try to sculpt your own expression to fit a group, it's like you don't want to, and this might sound harsh for some people, but there's certain people in situations where you may feel like you have to dumb it down in order to have a conversation about something with another individual, or that you have to talk about something that they can relate to, or else they just kind of get into this glossed over, disconnected in their own head or staring off into the distance. It's like, yeah, there's a lack of resonance that's coming in here, and it looks like you're ready to believe in yourself in a different way and just give yourself the opportunity and permission to go have experiences with people that can meet you at your level. Yeah, all of that and more. So it's some type of insight you're having with the third eye chakra, the pineal gland, and it talks about your vision and the way that you envision yourself, the way that you envision the multiverse, the universe, the earth itself. It's like you can see the good, bad, and the ugly, but you understand your impact upon the environment. And it's as though you're kind of like, I'm getting Chiron. So maybe your Chiron placement in your natal astrological chart is something that has some specific insight for you in this way. But Chiron was the wounded healer, and he was a centaur, which is the half horse, half human, and all the centaurs were very frolicking, carnal, and primal type mindset. But he was a philosopher and was interested in ethics, morals, and integrity, and started studying science in the world and all of the other things. And so it was like he was different than all of the other ones that looked like him. So it could be some type of family or family like situation. And so make sure to regularly cleanse and clear that vision that you are able to keep for yourself, because if others have projected upon you, like for instance, saying from an early age, oh, well, such and such is such a good girl, or blah, 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 this boy, he's such a leader. But, those things were distracting instead of streamlining to your process. Yeah, there's something changing here, because right under that we have air 13 paradigm shift with the crown chakra, and below third eye chakra we have the tantric journey card. So you're taking this super deep dive to manifest more freedom in your personal expression. And I think that that's going to take you surrounding yourself with a group of individuals who can understand what you're talking about, and that will not only encourage you but help open your own mind to so much more. I'll just leave it at that. Bigger, better, faster, more. And so you may be in for an acceleration. I'm seeing in my handmade deck, yes, allow and make it happen. So you're needing to make some boss moves to change your circumstance. And part of that is awakening to your value and where you've been minimized and how you can unlock and move to the next level. Yeah, working with what you've got, your synergy, and the people that, again, and places and things that you're surrounding yourself with, do they work well with your energy, or are they vibe canceling type things that undermine and limit and project upon you? And like sometimes it's needing to move in silence, because when you tell certain individuals that you're winning or having success or having a plan, their stank energy will focus on you in negative ways behind the scenes and will interfere with your manifestation. And you don't need that. So sometimes it's like making sure you don't share your energy unnecessarily with individuals who will cast their negativity upon you, because their limitations can somewhat encapsulate you and limit your expansion process. It looks like you're getting really fired up though. So something, maybe that was all for the best though, for them to limit you so that you could be able to, I'm kind of feeling like someone has either a suppressed passion or rage or something that was developed behind the scenes because of other individuals not being able to meet you where you were. And so now when you're finally ready to unfurl and release this more openly, it's like it's under pressure, it's charged, and it comes forward in this very remarkable and incredible display that's unmistakable. And I'm hearing unfuckwithable. Excuse the language for those that are have the tender ears. And then we also have new blueprints. So I'm kind of seeing that no matter what your genetic or nurtured, socialized upbringing and various programs have been running in the background for you, this change that you're embracing, this freedom that you're manifesting for yourself, is you even recognizing that you can alter your blueprints. Sometimes I find myself having dreams where I am in front of a council at a round table, and it's like everybody's negotiating soul contract things. They're editing and making corrections, and I feel like we have the capacity to do that for ourselves and in our dynamic relationships with other individuals. When we're ready to choose a different exchange, all it takes is for us to change ourselves, because that individual can't push against you if you sidestep. I'm seeing like somebody in, is that it's not, is it Tai Chi? Um Something else maybe, where you redirect the energy in some type of martial art. I'm seeing 1111 on the timer. But this is the dynamics, harnessing the dynamics and being able to say, okay, I've experienced this thing over here. I feel like I've checked that off the list, Spirit. If I need to experience more of that, make it part of me honing one of my gifts, or helping me to further expand and heal. But don't keep feeding me the same thing. I see what it is, and I'm ready to embrace the changes necessary for me to not let things happen that are part of the old way of viewing ourselves or someone else's limitations. So yes. And when I pulled that off the deck, I got suspended animation. There's something very surreal happening, and it's like this awareness is coming to you in such a way that it's almost allowing you to either reframe something with a new perspective or self-worth level, where you're like, yeah, maybe it wasn't what I was bringing to the table. Maybe it was the rest of these individuals at this 3D table who were just toxic individuals, and they couldn't see the progress and the next level manifestation that you were bringing to them. So it's like you're having this reframe, frame by frame, enlightening awareness of like, damn, oh, and then I totally get it, right? So there's somebody coming in that wants to, it says they want to whisper sweet and spicy nothings in your ear. So I don't know if this is someone or something that is of the new energy, but it could definitely be for some of you. You're overcoming an attraction pattern to some type of old energy, and now you have somebody who wants to whisper affirming and passionate words in your ear of a good variety. We'll see. Oof. But then we're also getting some others here are still singing the same old story, same old song and dance. So yeah, that same old song and dance is part of the glamour hooks. Somebody wants to hook you into some type of old belief pattern to kind of uh, keep you small. They don't want you to have this sparkly demeanor. They want you to be agreeing with them that their limitation is the end of the line. And but and it could be this is interesting. So we're getting some back and forth messages. There's also this date, getting to know you. So it's something about whether it's friendship groups or actual romantic dates. There's this new type of energy that you're ready to say yes to and escape this old song and dance that had some kind of toxic entanglement. What's that called? Trauma bonding. Yeah, the glamour hooks has to do with some type of old song and dance, old trauma bond, that you're ready to make something new happen. 2222, some type of collaborative energy here, very reflective, witnessing some type of inner duality to overcome and transcend a pattern, to close out old chapters. Yeah, you're becoming a real leader, an entrepreneur, a trendsetter, and a boss. So you've probably had this leadership energy for a long time, but you were just surrounded maybe by situations or some type of a vibe that didn't 100% reach as far as it could have. But things have been building all this time. Nothing that you have done has been in vain, nothing has been wasted. Because if you weren't at your best in the past, it was just because you were still learning those lessons, and you had to continue to move through that energy to be able to have the codes that would enable you to help others through the labyrinth themselves. So it's like you came through and had to experience these things so that you could understand the escape routes and map the territory for others, and to gain the lay of the land. I'm seeing a card from the shamanic decks. But yeah, you've got some material concerns here: scarcity, limits, blockage, superficiality, and trophy. It seems like you want something to show for it, and you are kind of feeling this suspension, like you've been at the boiling point, or the critical mass has been building and building all this time, and like you feel like you've been at that tipping point, that's the word I'm looking for such a long time. But you kept encountering these old energies, but somehow with this recent transformational energy, this recent paradigm shift, maybe somebody pointed something out to you. It's almost as soon as you passed that, new opportunities are finally actually finding you. You're not even needing to go out and seek the opportunities so much as you passing this level makes you, it makes it so that you have surpassed a limitation that was obscuring your energy behind these old veils and illusions. And so you have more visibility now, I'm hearing. So there's some new dynamism and intensity that's coming through. And you're probably seeing a lot of synchronicities flowing and reflective. Yeah, while you're in your flow state, you're witnessing the guideposts and the signs that the universe is sending you to help you to understand and to navigate who are the good ones for you to engage with, and who is the same old thing. So there's a lot of synchronicity, luck, and divine intervention here. So maybe you're dreading going back to work, and you've been having a good day and you're about to get there, and you're like stealing your nerves because negative Nancy is supposed to work on a project with you today. And you get there and you're like, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for this, I'm ready for this. And wouldn't you know it, negative Nancy has a cold and she's out of the office today. Oh, deflection and assistance by the universe, things like that. Define your path: opportunity or distraction, medicine or poison. Consider the dose. So yeah, the way that people are, the way that you are, it's like, don't indulge something too much. Don't overanalyze yourself or others, because that just puts us into the critique mindset instead of discernment. It's like discernment exists with a very broad sense of like, we don't care about changing somebody when we're in discernment. We just care about, are they going to honor the sacred sovereign exchange of energies, and how are we going to handle that type of thing. I think you see where I'm going with that. We've got mature feminine. You have a very emotionally mature magnetic center, and it seems that you're very in touch with your ability to manifest and co-create and to collaborate. You don't feel the urge to necessarily compete or be validated from outside of yourself. But sometimes considering the dose in that way is recognizing when other individuals, perhaps that may have mother issues or maybe some of your own, coming into this, with the more mature that you get, the more emotionally mature you become, you're recognizing various patterns of socialized codependency and that have been normalized in your specific situation, and you're completing that cycle and leveling up, no longer being available for people to siphon off of your nurturing goddess energy, whether you're male or feminine. Um, yeah, it's because you have this enormous heart chakra that is helping boost other individuals and helping put the air behind their wings so they can have their paradigm shifts. But at some point, I feel like part of your level up is to say, I've already given you all the tools. What do you want to see happen for your life? And what choices are you making in your life? Why don't you tell me, right? Does this align with your highest path? I think you got to let somebody go and spin around or spin out or do what they want to do or what they're going to do without involving you. It's just like you've done your part. And at some point you got to let the toddler have their little temper tantrum and just sit back and say, "Are you ready to talk now, or do you still need a minute?" You know, somebody misses your energy because you've pulled it back, and they feel that you guys are soulmates. There's probably a lot of flow between your energies, because I think that you are very soulmate energy for a lot of individuals, but you're not necessarily their divine counterpart or at the same level. Some soulmates come in for a long time. Sometimes they come in just for a lesson or for an up leveling or to just point something out. So yeah, let everybody um, find their proper place and help them find their proper place by declaring what you like and what you don't like and what you're ready for. We have one flying across. I don't know if I'll get that one. You already know what you want to do. Trust your gut instincts in this situation. There's chemistry at work and at play in your life in various realms, and certain things are working positively and cooperatively with your chemistry, and other things are just there to try to irk you. But all of these things are about how we alchemize and transmute that energy and transfer the inputs into our artistic personal self-expression. May have to do with some type of situation, person, place, or thing that begins with the letters U, V, W, X, Y, or Z. It says, this is a beautiful lyric. Alison Krauss, I like the version that she does with, I think it's George Strait. It says, "You say it best when you say nothing at all." So somebody's feeling this connection to you behind the scenes, and you want somebody who's on your level. Ooh, and you are really hot these days, very magnetic, very attractive, and you're very inspired. You have a lot of great ideas, and it says, "Oh, like a bridge over troubled waters, I will lay me down." So somebody feels very relaxed and nurtured in your presence, but perhaps for you, you could transition into utilizing your service work in a way that could be reciprocal. I don't know if that's getting paid for what you do and setting your boundary in that way, or if it's with friends, maybe just asking them to honor the exchange between you and the energy that they are sharing with you. Oh, you got a lot of song lyrics, so some songs may be part of the synchronicities. So this one's "Welcome to the Jungle. It gets worse here every day. Learn to live like an animal. I want to hear you scream." Oh, so somebody's got a very dull and sad outlook. They're fearful about the jungle of the outer world, and they feel like they have to be very competitive and primal and dog eat dog to survive. And they, I think, want to see or goad you into being your primal self in some type of a way. But it seems a mismatch. It could be a Cancer, because Cancer card actually showed in the reverse. Cancer is meant to be the fourth house, which is the home and the sanctuary of self, and it's moon energy, which can be a little confusing and subliminal, subversive, but it's cardinal water. It really sets the tone of the emotional climate in the emotional safety within a dynamic. And if that Cancer energy is in reverse, whether that's your mother issues or another, somebody is plugged into that nurturing dynamic in a way that is less than encouraging, and it's bridging troubled energy between your soul and theirs. And there's something that you're able to convey as you're making these changes and saying what needs to be said, making those changes in your own life, where you're helping them to want to be a better person. Smoke signals, somebody I feel like is kind of giving you a bit of a guilt trip. They want you to come back to the way that things used to be. It's kind of like they're still in some cloudy, very confused energy, and they're feeling sorry for themselves. And I feel a lot of compassion for them. I'm sure that you are feeling that too. But they need to understand that they are self-sabotaging. They're creating a self-fulfilling prophecy for themselves, or perhaps this is you in this situation. And I feel a lot of compassion for anyone who's in this energy. But if you truly want to manifest freedom from this, there's a need to address some level of a negative mindset, and having trust that the universe has you in this very, very loving embrace, that nothing that is meant for you will be kept from you. It's all on its way, and you've been doing the work. You're moving towards what is meant for you is also magnetizing you in return. The universe only places us in situations so that we can learn those lessons and be our better selves and communicate with our soulmates that are trying to point things out to us. And if those messages become more harsh, perhaps it's up to us to stop seeking the counsel from them and speak to our inner harsh critic and say, why is it that I keep seeking out harsh exchanges? What is the softness that is trying to emerge in my heart space that wants to tell me how to be more loving instead of judgmental with that piece of me? Because if I can't identify and love that piece of me first and foremost for myself and my inner process, then it keeps being reflected from the mirror across different individuals and situations, showing me back to my lower lessons, right? To keep on using them, because they are ultimately nothing but stepping stones so that we can make our way across the river. It's a beautiful thing when we can really plug into that. So I'm feeling you guys really making boss moves in this regard, and you're leading the pack, and others are going to be so encouraged and inspired by your movement and momentum and the way that you show up after this progression, that they can't wait to hear more about you. And this is going to help you to continue to empower and to believe in yourself and in this healing process, and to keep attracting those newer situations and new inspirations. Yeah, I need freedom. Exactly. You're getting this freedom and it's coming for you. That is at the root. That is really what we're seeking when we're looking for happiness. It's freedom from fear, freedom from I want to call it the illusion of suffering, the illusion of pain. But in the 3D, those are real things. They are very real. Grief, suffering, loss, all of these things are creating the necessary contrast so that we can change our direction and keep on climbing up the ladder or moving across that river and not getting swept up in the tide of all of those who are ungrounded and their emotions are um, irregulated and flowing at hyper speed in a specific direction. You can lift yourself out of that tide and climb across these realizations. So there may be some need to break free from old friend groups or dynamics that you've been attached to, or ideals or belief patterns you've been attached to, old dogma or family beliefs or instructions or paths, to gain your own entrepreneurial spirit, to identify your own pure true north energy, and to be that Chiron ascended healer, the hold healer who has sought for their own philosophy and gone off on their journeys and brought that back to the tribe to set the precedent for the new incoming era and age. So maybe you're the one who's getting advice. Maybe people are getting your advice. I think it's a little bit of everything. Yeah, Aries, first house energy, cardinal fire in Mars. So don't get bitter, get better. Let that Mars energy, whenever you get stirred up with passions or you're having some type of feeling of mismatch or rejection, abandonment, or anything like that, it's just a redirection. And let ourselves not feel like, well, why is there something wrong with me? But think, well, okay, what do I prefer? Where do I want to go? What can I agree to embody in myself? More love for self, more boundaries for self. Maybe you've been tolerating things that weren't meant to be tolerated, and it might be time for you to move forward in bold ways to declare who you are and really get fired up and lead the path without reservations. Just, yeah, put that creative energy to better use and to declare who you are. And people are going to be mirroring you because you're gaining some type of recognition and popularity. But it's only because they don't have an authentic identity of their own, but you do, and you're ready to embrace it. And here you go. So celebrating you, sending you so much love. Take good care of yourself and check out some other messages. Until next time, guys.